Honestly, I'm kinda proud of myself. I went pretty light on spoilers in this one. One of the very few things that separates Xenoblade from other RPGs is the combat system. JRPGs are absolutely filled to the brim with tropes and cliches, with the most common one being that enemies are able to gentleman into taking turns attacking each other, and most of the time just letting the opponent attack them without attempting to evade or impede the attacker. Xenoblade may still follow the rule of only choosing to block or dodge on random chance, because I guess the characters just can't be bothered for the rest of the time, but the overall structure of the combat goes something along the lines of, "You guys see that giant caterpillar? Let's kick its ass!"
Rhyme time, baby!
See what you made against the odds!
This style of combat first appeared in Xenoblade 1 and managed to be easy to understand because of the similarities to turn-based combat where you select a move and the character performs it, but now in the fast-paced format that this game created where you don't get much time to stop and strategize. Overall, it takes approximately 2 hours of gameplay before you essentially know 90% of the ins and outs of the battle arts, chain attacks, and visions, and then this game drags on for another 50 more hours. I say 90% because that extra 10% is filled with basic expansion of gem potential and chain attack length as your bond with your teammates grow, and I guess one thing I only learned about 30 hours in is that you can transition your current multiplier in a chain attack by using a talent art. After some small things like that, you essentially know everything about the combat. A very easily understandable and enjoyable combat system is exactly what the first game in the series needed, and thankfully that's what it got, and so for a sequel, it would have been best not to stray too far in terms of difficulty, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. There are driver arts that vary depending on what driver uses what weapon, and there's each blade has an element. Upon using a blade art and applying that blade, some attack arts are called driver combo arts, which are actually able to fusion combo is great combo with driver combo, that's basic order is exactly what the other combo is smashed with. Doing this in order to fill the blade combo bar in top right hitting a dim before you can use it, which keeps actually going and level massive blade combo, you will have a number smash arts that are time or by bending your both of those otherwise out of obliterate. Seriously, I've done it once in my 100-hour save file, and it was glorious, especially when Zeke took his shirt off. You got all that? Because that was just the base game. And I left a few details out. So yeah, it's safe to say that they kind of jumped the gun in terms of user-friendliness. I am 100% certain that I understand every element of this game's combat, but at what cost, you may ask? My sanity. I only truly learned about some details like full burst, cancel arts, fusion combo, and the fourth weapon art on my second playthrough. So what's the importance of bringing this stuff up, you may be asking? Well, as you know, there's a cool new game on the horizon, or at least I hope it's cool. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And it's certainly most interesting to look back at the changes between the first and second games, so why not attempt to analyze and gauge just how much they may have changed it even more in this upcoming installment to the series. Well, in the first scene, we can see that they put the entire roster of main regular character form and battle. There's a gauge labeled to different links are filled and healer randomly scattered across the screen with no actual semblance from both reasoning as to why this guy's got circles on the right straight up match form of chain. The nopon are going to merge. I believe it, Noponis will happen. So from what we've seen so far, it's about halfway in terms of difficulty between Xenoblade 1 and 2. Halfway between Hell and Earth. I think that's pretty good, all things considered. I mean, they dumped blades from the game. I hope that's an improvement. I mean, you don't gotta focus on force-feeding Boreas copious amounts of food anymore just so we can learn to talk to Nopon better so you can read some barrels, for goodness sake. I kind of don't have anything of actual value to say about Xenoblade 3's combat, so I guess tell me what you think of the combat, because like usual, you probably have much better takes on what we've seen so far than I do. Also, I kind of want to be like fully transparent here and say that, like, I know I'm kind of making fun of the entire series in this, because that's kind of what I do now, but I really want this game to be good. Like, this series is really, I kind of enjoy it, you know, shocker, but I'm really hoping that this third game smashes it out of the park in terms of like everything, but combat is just one of the few things I hope they got right. See ya in 2 weeks or so, because that's how long it takes me to make a 4.5-minute essay.